A very good evening to you and welcome to Primetime News on TV1, coming to you live from the Newsfirst studios in Colombo. My name is Krishan Devasagayam.
And I'm Piruni Karunarathna. Here are tonight's top stories. Former Minister Douglas Devananda arrested over firearms case. Sri Lanka marks 21 years since tsunami. National Safety Day today. Restoration of inactive tsunami warning towers begins. Relief for damaged homes. 500,000 rupees to be provided without damage assessment. OIC of Gampa Police Crimes Division remanded over bribery charges.
In your top story this evening, former Minister Douglas Devananda was arrested by the Criminal Investigations Department today. Devananda was taken into custody after appearing at the CID headquarters to record a statement regarding an ongoing investigation. The probe centers on a pistol, one of the firearms issued to him by the army in 2001, which Devananda allegedly handed over to the notorious organized criminal Makandure Madush. Today is the 26th of December. It has been 21 years since the tsunami disaster left an indelible scar on Sri Lanka's coastal communities, upending lives in an instant, claiming thousands of lives, destroying homes and livelihoods, and leaving behind a painful memory that still echoes in the hearts of the nation.
On the morning of the 26th of December 2004 at 6:58 a.m., a powerful earthquake measuring 9.1 on the Richter scale struck the deep sea near the northern coast of Sumatra. It was the quiet beginning of a catastrophe no one foresaw. On a peaceful Sunday morning after Christmas, as people went about their lives unaware of the disaster that was about to unfold. Reports on the ground shaking began reaching the Newsfirst newsroom from several areas. Minutes later, information came in from Trincomalee that the sea was surging inland, events unfolding almost simultaneously. At exactly 9:26 a.m., tsunami waves traveling at speeds exceeding 800 kilometers per hour crashed ashore and swept deep into the country in a manner no one could have imagined.
Watching the joint broadcast live on Channel 1 MTV Shakti Venture.
It was the most devastating natural disaster witnessed in history, ravaging 14 countries across Asia. Within mere seconds, 227,898 lives were lost. In Sri Lanka alone, the number of lives claimed by the tsunami is recorded at 35,000. On that day, as the Capital Maharaja Group, with limited resources but unwavering resolve, we launched a coordinated effort on multiple fronts, continuously reporting vital information while carefully planning and delivering humanitarian relief. This document, part of the lineup prepared for the first ever live broadcast on that day, remains a powerful reminder of tsunami reporting and those unforgettable moments. As we continue to provide uninterrupted information to the public, we also planned an initiative to inspire people to stand together in support of those affected by the tragedy. And that initiative was the Sirasa Sahana Yatra. For our brothers and sisters left helpless, stripped of even their basic belongings, this relief mission was carried out swiftly and decisively, just as it is remembered today, united as one. Sri Lankans rose together, overcoming the sheer force and devastation of the tsunami. Now 21 years have passed. Those beloved lives lost are not forgotten by the nation. Standing in solidarity with the families who lost their loved ones to this great tragedy, we offer a prayer to the world. May we never face such a disaster again.
Beautiful in every way, in every heart. We love you, Sri Lanka.
Paralia, like the tsunami itself, is a word that can never be forgotten. On a day like today, in 2004, a train that departed Colombo in the early morning was engulfed by towering tsunami waves at Paralia, destroying everything in its path and bringing death to a vast number of passengers. That train began its journey at 6:50 a.m. Even today, at 6:50 a.m., a train departed from Colombo Fort carrying the memory of the tsunami and pausing at Paralia. It stopped to remember the hundreds of lives that were lost in an instant at 9:26 a.m. on the 26th of December 2004. Of those travelling on the train powered by engine number 50 that day, more than 2,000 people lost their lives. Today, as the train crew arrived at the Paralia Tsunami Memorial, relatives of the victims and religious leaders were already gathered there. Multi-religious observances were conducted and merits were dedicated to those who perished. The 26th of December 2004, a dark chapter in Sri Lanka's history, when even iron bowed in fear before the unstoppable force of nature. Today is National Safety Day. This day is observed in remembrance of those who lost their lives in disasters, including the tsunami. A national moment of silence was observed today from 9:25 a.m. to 9:27 a.m. In the Mathura district alone, 1,298 people lost their lives to the tsunami, while 514 others remain missing. A special commemorative program was held today at the Mathura district secretariat in their memory. In Baligama, silence was respectfully observed as the lives lost to the disaster were remembered. This is the moment when the fallen were remembered at the Gaul police station. At the Gaul district secretariat, religious observances were conducted and merits were transferred in memory of the departed. The tsunami caused severe devastation to the town of Hambantota. Nearly 1,000 families were displaced within just a matter of minutes. Intikab Samsudin was 24 years old. In 2004, he had left home for work at a supermarket located about 200 meters away. When the tsunami wave struck, the supermarket was completely submerged. Even today, Samsudin cannot comprehend how he survived the fierce struggle to save his life. His home too was swallowed by the waves. When he ran back in desperation, he only found his father. There has been no information to this very day about his beloved mother. After losing relatives and friends to the disaster, Intikhab Samsudeen and his father, bound by grief, lived on as a shattered son and a broken father, moving through life amid shock and sorrow without purpose. But Samsudeen soon realized that remaining trapped in despair was meaningless and that he had to rise again, quickly, with resolve.
ඉදිරියට යන්න ඕන මොකද අපි නැගිටින්න ඕන අපි ජීවත් වෙන තුරු කාටවත් බරක් නොවේ අපේ දෙපය නැගිටලා අපි ජීවත් වෙන්න ඕන ඒ ගැන කල්පනා කරලා මම මගේ ජීවිතය ගොඩනගාගෙන අද මම හොඳ සතුටින් ජීවත් වෙනවා
4 years later, Samsudeen found his life partner. Today, he is a loving father of 3 children. He owns a new home and a 3-wheeler and works tirelessly to secure a better future for his children, an exemplary citizen shaped by resilience. So, is he not an inspiration standing by the sea? Samsudeen's story stands as one of the most powerful testaments to determination, a reminder to the nation and the world that even after unimaginable loss, the human spirit can rise again.
Meanwhile, the Disaster Management Center says that a program has been launched to reactivate tsunami early warning towers that are currently inactive.
21 years ago, on a day like today, more than 35,000 lives in our country were claimed by the tsunami without a single warning. Today, however, tsunami early warning technology has advanced significantly. Although various modern technologies now contribute to global early warning systems, tsunami warning towers still continue to play a fundamental and crucial role. Even in countries like Indonesia, which use highly advanced technology to predict weather and natural hazards, warning towers are given priority as a key component of disaster preparedness. Yet, following the devastating tsunami of 2004, the majority of the 77 tsunami early warning towers installed across Sri Lanka became inactive years ago, primarily due to the failure to update and maintain them. By last year, 57 out of the 77 warning towers were no longer operational. On the 16th of September 2016, the Ministry of Disaster Management signed an agreement with a private company to rehabilitate and maintain all 77 towers. The contract was valued at 135 million rupees from 2016 to 2023. 90 million rupees was paid under this agreement, along with an additional 576,185 rupees for maintenance up to January 2024. On several occasions, Newsfirst highlighted the urgent need to take swift action regarding the condition of these tsunami warning towers. In October last year, the Disaster Management Center revealed that the technology used in these towers had become outdated and that the company responsible had ceased manufacturing the relevant equipment. As part of the renewed program to reactivate the tsunami early warning towers, support from India is also expected to be sought.
At present, we are working to restore the tsunami warning towers using new technical methods. In particular, satellite-based technologies will be utilized, while GSM and other advanced systems will also be incorporated to activate these towers. Although the towers are currently inactive, we will restore and integrate them into the National Early Warning System within a very short period of time. As the Disaster Management Center, we have already taken the necessary steps to ensure this process is carried out efficiently.
News First with the people.
In another headline-making story this evening, Minister of Public Security Ananda Vijaypala says that a decision has been taken to provide 500,000 rupees per house for houses that were damaged by the recent disaster situation. The minister said that the compensation will be paid without conducting individual damage assessments.
The minister made these remarks while addressing an awareness program on the Praja Shakti initiative held at the Kobegane Divisional Secretariat.
We provided the initial payment of 50,000 rupees during discussions held prior to issuing the circular. The objective of those discussions was to address assistance for 2 completely destroyed houses, 3 partially damaged houses and a house that had been flooded to a certain extent. Let me be very clear. We never said that compensation should be assessed at 50,000 rupees, nor did we say it should be assessed at 25,000 rupees. What we have always said, especially after a disaster, is this: we will restore people to a condition better than what they had before. Apart from the lives that were lost, we will help recover everything else. At all times, we must stand on the side of the people. That is why when carrying out our duties, we use our discretion to make decisions in the public's interest. The purpose of this assistance is to help families rise again. Subsequently, we decided to provide 500,000 rupees per household without conducting individual assessments. Around 120,000 houses have suffered partial damage. If we were to carry out detailed assessments, it would take nearly another year. Therefore, a decision was taken to provide 500,000 rupees to all affected families without assessment. However, if anyone feels they want compensation based on an assessment instead, they are free to opt out of the 500,000 rupees and request evaluation. If that assessment amounts to 2.5 million rupees, they will be paid 2.5 million rupees. If it amounts to 5 million rupees, they will be paid 5 million rupees.
Let's now take a look at some of the other development work taking place across the country following the devastation of Cyclone Ditwa.
After 8 days, the road leading to the Somavati sacred grounds has been reopened. During the recent floods, the main access route to the Somavati sacred grounds was submerged, particularly in the 35th mile post area. Although the road was reopened, it had to be closed again due to reflooding. Development work has commenced at the Polonnaruwa depot, including carpeting and other upgrades. The project is being led by Deputy Minister of Housing, Construction and Water Supply, TB Sarath. The estimated cost of the project is 350 million rupees. The Crimes OIC of the Gampaha police station, who was arrested on charges of accepting a bribe, was remanded until the 6th of January 2026. The officer was remanded after being produced before Colombo Additional Magistrate Lahiru Varshavithana this afternoon.
The officer in charge of crimes of the Gampaha police station was arrested on charges of accepting a bribe after a businessman from Dandugama Jayala lodged a complaint against him. The complaint states that the suspect demanded a bribe after claiming that the complainant had purchased a stock of stolen gold jewellery. The OIC had promised to refrain from taking legal action regarding the matter if the bribe was paid. Officials from the Bribery Commission informed the court that the suspect had demanded for a sum of 300,000 rupees and 0.75 sovereigns of gold from the businessman. The former was arrested when the said businessman was paying the suspect a sum of 250,000 rupees. Bribery Commission officials requested that the suspect be remanded, citing that investigations are still ongoing. However, the Defence Counsel requested that the suspect be released on suitable bail conditions. After considering the submissions, the Colombo Additional Magistrate directed that any bail application be made before the Colombo Chief Magistrate's Court on the next date of hearing. The case is scheduled to be taken up again on the 6th January 2026.
Meanwhile, 6 individuals have been arrested for allegedly aiding and abetting the shooting and killing of the manager of a business establishment in Ambalangoda.
Police reported that 4 of the suspects were arrested by the Galle District Crimes Division during raids conducted in the Hikkaduwa and Ambalangoda areas. During the operation, officers recovered a pistol and a revolver in the suspect's possession. In a separate move, another 2 individuals were taken into custody in Kiribaggoda. These arrests follow the fatal shooting of a 47-year-old manager at a business establishment in Ambalangoda. Police noted that 1 suspect had already been arrested previously in connection with this murder. Sri Lanka police say that a special search operation is still underway at the Kandy District Secretariat. The operation was launched earlier today after the Kandy District Secretary received an email claiming that bombs had been planted at 5 different locations within the premises.
The search operation was initiated following a notification from the Kandy District Secretary to the Senior Superintendent of Police for the Kandy Division. According to police, the Police Kennels Division, the Police Special Task Force Bomb Disposal Unit and the Army Bomb Disposal Squad were deployed to the scene. Despite the extensive search conducted across the premises, no explosives or suspicious materials have been discovered so far.
A media briefing was held today to provide information on the new procedure for distributing government-purchased paddy stocks to the private sector for processing.
කටයුතු කරමින් ඉන්නවා අපි කීය කන්නේ එකතු කරගත්ත වීතොග සතොස හරහා.
We are currently working on a program to mill the paddy stocks collected during the previous season and release them to the market through the Lanka Satosa network as well as other retail networks. Regarding the process, we are releasing our collected Nadu paddy at a rate of 125 rupees per kilogram. Our registered millers can purchase this paddy and deliver the processed rice to warehouses designated by Satosa. We are currently calling for expressions of interest to determine the price. If a miller agrees to deliver rice at a specific price, we first instruct them to supply the required quantity of rice to a location named by Satosa. Once that is done, we release the paddy based on the value of the rice supplied. Specifically, Satosa will place an order for a certain quantity to be delivered to a specific location. Once the rice is delivered, the Paddy Marketing Board will issue an order to release the equivalent value in paddy to that miller from our warehouses at the rate of 125 rupees per kilogram. This is the mechanism currently proposed and approved by the Cabinet. Our goal is to mill and release approximately 30,000 metric tons of rice within the next month and a half.
මෝල් හිමියන් නෙත මේක තමයි දැනට යෝජනා වෙලා තියෙන කැබිනට් එකෙන් අනුමත කරලා තියෙන ක්‍රමවේදය. කොහොමද අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන මේ මාස එකමාර වගේ ඇතුළත ටොන් 30000ක් විතර කොටලා එළියට නිකුත් කරන්න.
A national program to provide fertilizer subsidies to farmers aimed at promoting seed paddy production commenced today at the Rambe Agrarian Service Centre in Pulpitigama. The event was held under the patronage of the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Normal Karnaratna.
As part of the program to promote seed paddy farmers, we are providing a fertilizer subsidy of 50,000 rupees for 2 hectares. In addition to this, we launched a program today to provide 22 kilograms of muriate of potash fertilizer per acre to farmers free of charge. We require over 600,000 bushels of seed paddy for cultivation, and this initiative at the Rambe Agrarian Service Centre is a key step taken towards achieving that requirement. A Pirit sermon organised by the Maharaja Media Network to seek blessings for the country and its citizens is scheduled to begin at 7 p.m. on the 1st of January 2026 at the Independence Square in Colombo. The blessings of the Mahanayaka Theros of the Malbatu and Askiri chapters were obtained today for this sermon and the series of religious programs.
To brief the Mahanayaka Theros on the upcoming program series, Chief Executive Officer of MTV, Yasarat Kamal Siri, Sirasa TV Religious Program Director Dharma Shri Bandara Ekanayaka and MTV MBC Director of Public Relations Priyantha Vijay Singha arrived in Kandy this morning. The delegation first met the Most Venerable Varakagoda Shri Jnanaratana Thero, the Mahanayaka of the Askiri chapter of the Siam sect, to provide details of the programs and to receive his blessings. 100 monks are scheduled to participate in the Pirit sermon, which will commence at 7 p.m. on the 1st of January 2026. An Adhisthana Pahan Puja will follow at 7:30 p.m. with the participation of monks and devotees from across the country. The delegation also met the Most Venerable Thibbatuwave Shri Sumangala Thero, the Mahanayaka of the Malvatu chapter of the Siam sect, and briefed him on the series of programs and also obtained his blessings. Following the Pirit sermon on the 1st of January, a Sangha Dakshina will be held on the morning of the 2nd of January. These religious programs are organized by the Maharaja Media Network with the support of the Ministry of Defence and the Colombo Municipal Council.
Today marks day 5 of the LOLC Divisavya Obai Mamai Ape Ratai social welfare initiative, which loosely translates to You, Me and Our Nation, launched to provide relief to communities affected by the recent disasters. Today's program focused on the districts of Kandy and Makale.
On its fifth day, the LOLC Divisavia program continued to distribute essential relief items to families whose lives and livelihoods were affected by the recent weather disaster. The program got underway in the Divisional Secretariat divisions of Ududumbara, Minipe, Matale, Ambalangoda, Yatavatta, Pujapitiya and Tumpane today. The program aims to assist 4,000 families across 69 divisional secretariat divisions. Tomorrow, the LOLC Divisavia You, Me, Our Nation initiative will be carried out in the Matale district, covering the divisional secretariat divisions of Ukuela, Rattota, Pallepula, Naula, Laggala and Wilgamua. The LOLC Divisavia Public Service Initiative aims to help rebuild the lives and livelihoods of people whose houses were destroyed across 6 districts in Sri Lanka, namely the districts of Kandy, Matale, Kegal, Badulla, Nuwara and Ratnapura.
And in some business news, the National Gem and Jewellery Authority says that the prices of gold could rise further in the future. At present, the price of a 24-carat gold sovereign in the local market is being recorded at 357,000 rupees. However, the rate of increase in the local market has slowed down when compared to the price increases in the global market. Now, gold prices in the world market are currently recording historical record-breaking highs. As of yesterday, the price of an ounce of gold in the world market was recorded at $4,479 US. Shakti Crown Season 2, a spectacular singing competition that elevates Sri Lankan talent to the international stage. Riding on immense fan support, the grand finale of Shakti Crown Season 2 is set to take place tomorrow.
Music doesn't have boundaries, and we are ready to witness a landmark moment in Sri Lanka's music and entertainment scene as the grand finale of Shakti Crown Season 2 takes center stage tomorrow here at the Stein Studios here in Ratmalana. And throughout this season, we saw a lot of competitors showcasing their talent in this platform, and we had competitors not just from Sri Lanka but from India, UK and Malaysia as well. This year, giving an example of a platform that gives opportunity to shine beyond borders. And throughout this season, we had a lot of unbelievable performances, beautiful performances, viral performances which took the attention of the audience, the judges and also the people all around the world. And tomorrow's action-packed grand finale will be full of excitement, and the 6 contestants will be giving their best on stage, and we are ready to witness something exciting tomorrow. So who will be taking the crown home? Who will be the champion? So we'll have to wait and see the winner of this year's Shakti Crown Grand Finale of Season 2. Reporting to you from Stein Studios in Ratmalana, I am Budmina Divakara for Newsfirst.
Shakti Crown.
Shakti Crown, the reality music show that provides a stage for talented singers aiming to make their mark in the music industry, has won immense support from fans nationwide. Following the tremendous success of its first season, Shakti Crown Season 2 was launched, and its grand finale is set to take place tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Stein Studios in Ratmalana. The stage is now set for the finalists, who are rehearsing to deliver flawless performances and compete for the coveted winner's crown. Auditions for Season 2 began on the 16th of April, drawing thousands of participants from across Sri Lanka and abroad. Among them, 144 contestants from countries including Sri Lanka, India, Malaysia and the United Kingdom impressed the judges and advanced to the next round. From them, 24 contestants representing India, Malaysia and various Sri Lankan districts including Ratnapura, Nuwara, Jaffna, Colombo, Badulla, Gampaha, Mullaitivu, Vaunia, Mana and Trincomalee were selected. The competition then narrowed down to 12 semi-finalists and 6 finalists who will now battle it out in the grand finale. The 6 finalists are Ritanya Umaravi from Chennai, India. R. Sivanujan from Colombo. Emanuele Amalraj from Mana. R. Dashika from Kokuville, Jaffna. K. Sanjay from Talavakale. And Dharmita Shrikumar from Mulathiu. Guided by India's acclaimed composer Kalaimamani Bharadwaj, lecturer Dr. Arunandi Aruran, and music composer Soundari David Rodrigo, and mentored by composer Shamil J, along with vocal trainers Prakash K and Mridusha, the contestants have been delivering outstanding performances right throughout the season. Who will take home the crown of Shakti Crown Season 2? Grand finale will run from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. tomorrow at Stein Studios in Rathmalana and will be broadcast live on Shakti TV.
Shakti Crown.
On to news overseas. Jailed former Malaysian Premier Najib Razak was convicted on all charges of abuse of power and money laundering in the biggest trial yet in the multi-billion-dollar 1MDB scandal, a ruling that could have significant political repercussions.
The judge had yet to announce sentencing of Najib over his role in massive embezzlement from One Malaysia Development Bank Berhad while he was Prime Minister, after finding him guilty on 4 counts of abuse of power and 21 charges of money laundering. Malaysia and US investigators say at least $4.5 billion was stolen from 1MDB, a state fund Najib co-founded in 2009 while in office. More than $1 billion allegedly made its way into accounts linked to Najib, who has denied wrongdoing. Najib could face maximum jail terms of between 15 and 20 years on each charge, as well as a fine of up to 5 times the value of the alleged misappropriations. The ruling could add to tensions in Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's governing alliance, which includes the once dominant United Malays National Organisation, over which its former leader Najib has retained significant influence. Najib has been in prison since August 2022, when Malaysia's top court upheld a verdict convicting him of corruption for illegally receiving funds from 1MDB unit. His 12-year jail sentence in that case was halved last year by a pardons board.
Japanese Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi's cabinet approved a record $785 billion budget for the next fiscal year, aiming to strike a balance between her proactive fiscal policy and debt blowout concerns by limiting new bond issuance.
Faced with rising government bond yields and a weak yen, the Takaichi administration has stepped up efforts to reassure investors that the government will not resort to irresponsible debt issuance or tax cuts. The budget for the year starting from April to be submitted to Parliament early next year will total a record of 122.3 trillion yen, exceeding this year's initial budget of 115.2 trillion yen. Still, new government bond issuance will increase only slightly from this year's 28.6 trillion yen to 29.6 trillion yen, with the debt dependence ratio falling to 24.2%, the lowest since 1998. Higher tax revenues, projected to rise 7.6% to a record 83.7 trillion yen, will help fund increased spending, though they will not fully offset surging debt servicing costs, along with higher social welfare and defense outlays. Debt servicing costs for interest payments and debt redemption will jump 10.8% to 31.3 trillion yen, with the assumed interest rate set at 3.0%, the highest level in 29 years, as the Bank of Japan exits ultra-loose monetary policy. Japan already has the highest debt burden in the developed world at more than twice the size of its economy, making it highly sensitive to rising borrowing costs and complicating Takaichi's plans to pursue aggressive fiscal stimulus measures.
Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has said that the US launched a powerful and deadly strike against the Islamic State group in northwestern Nigeria.
The US leader described IS as terrorist scum, accusing the group of targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. Trump said the US military executed numerous perfect strikes, while the US Africa Command later reported that Thursday's attack was carried out in coordination with Nigeria in the Sokoto state. Nigerian Foreign Minister Yusuf Maitama Taga told foreign media it was a joint operation targeting terrorists and it has nothing to do with a particular religion. He did not rule out further strikes, saying this depended on decisions to be taken by the leadership of the two countries. Meanwhile, US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said on Thursday he was grateful for Nigerian government support and cooperation. The US Department of Defense later posted an unclassified short video that appeared to show a missile being launched from a military vessel. On Friday morning, the Nigerian Foreign Ministry said in a statement that the country's authorities remain engaged in structured security cooperation with international partners, including the United States of America, in addressing the persistent threat of terrorist and violent extremism.
In more news from the United States, local officials in California say that heavy rainstorms across large parts of the state triggered floods and mudslides, leaving 3 dead as of Christmas night.
The storms, which were expected to continue through Friday, brought 11 inches of rainfall to some parts of Los Angeles County, prompted evacuations and shut down major roads. Emergency responders have had to perform several rescues, including people stuck in vehicles as flood waters rise. California's Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency on Wednesday in Los Angeles and other Southern California counties. About 100,000 people in the state were without power as of Thursday evening. The U.S. Weather Prediction Center said on Thursday that numerous flash flooding events are possible. It added that many streams may flood, potentially affecting larger rivers. Evacuation warnings were in effect for some residents of San Bernardino County in Southern California, and flood warnings were issued for those in the San Francisco Bay Area on Thursday morning.
And that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Take care, God bless you, and good night.